Welcome back, everyone. It is 8:18 on our Friday morning, and it might be hard to believe we are just over a month away from the start of the fall season, and we have a lot on hand here. So we have a question for you. How often do you practice emotional cleaning to ensure positive mental wellness ahead of a new season? There's a lot of layers to that. I was just talking about that, right? Joining us live to discuss what it means to intentionally live well in the rest of this season and to prepare for the next, we have therapist, motivational speaker, and best-selling author Michael McGill Jr. joining us to discuss all of these topics. Yeah. First thing I said when I sat down was, I was like, are you sure you want to unpack all this, right?
This is a therapy session.
Exactly, right? I love it.
To unpack.
I mean, for starters, I think a lot of people probably think of like spring cleaning.
Yes.
But I feel like the start of a new season is a great time to kind of just do kind of thought process of everything going on. Yeah. Unpack, if you will, and maybe just reflect, right?
Yeah, well, think about it. We go from season to season. How many folks do you know that go from season to season and don't take time to unpack where they've been and also where they're going? And here's what I know as a psychotherapist. We perpetuate what we don't evaluate. So if you don't take time to unpack where you've been and reflect and realize this ain't working for me, this is where I want to go, you're doomed to recreate the patterns.
I love that.
And so that's why it's about creating a vision.
We perpetuate what we
don't evaluate.
I love that. So what is that process like to unpack everything?
Yeah, so the first step is to create a vision. Again, so many of us are going from season to season, a deer in headlights, don't have a clue who we are and where we're going. So I first say create a vision of who you want to be. And that includes having some real, ruthlessly, religiously honest conversations on what you've done, who you are, where you've been.
The good and the bad.
The good and the bad, the bad behaviors, and I shouldn't say bad, unhealthy behaviors that keep you from growing.
I want to talk about this, evaluating our soil.
Yes.
What does that mean?
I love that. So there's a tree graphic that we have. When you think about this, we all have soil. Soil is the life experiences that we have. And you look at that plant, that particular plant, there is a jade tree. When we think about the concept of any plant, really, this particular plant grows based on the soil that it's in. So if you put it in an unhealthy soil and a small pot, it'll grow in small ways. But when you put the particular plant in a larger pot, when you water the soil, when you help it cultivate it and give it the sunlight, it grows in magnanimous ways.
I'm a big houseplant guy, so I know this too. You got to often replant, pull it out, get new soil in there.
Get new relationships, the places you work, the people you're around, all that's your soil. What's the soil that you're in?
I like it. I mean, do you encourage people? I feel like there is still sometimes a stigma, especially amongst older people, that the only time to go to therapy is if you are in a time of crisis.
No, the only time to go to therapy is if you are alive.
Right.
The only time to go to therapy is when you want to evolve. The only time to go to therapy is when you want to grow.
I have always found that when you are in crisis, you're not really set up well to organize, to go find the therapist, to get comfortable with them. If you already have them in place, you're comfortable with them.
Think about it. We have different parts of our brain. When you are in crisis mode, you're in the amygdala, the animal brain, where you're in fight or flight mode. When you're in crisis mode, you spend on things you shouldn't be spending on. You boo up with somebody you shouldn't be booed up with. You eat what you shouldn't be eating when you're in crisis mode. But when you're in healthy mode, you're in the frontal lobe, more conscious, more cognizant. Having a good therapist can bring you from animal brain to healthy brain.
We only got about 30 seconds left, but tell us about unpacking the baggage, right? Packing light, as you say.
You know, I don't know if San Diego knows about Erykah Badu. Hopefully they do. But what does she say? Bag lady. She said, you gonna hurt your back. You can't hurry up because you got too much stuff. She says, pack light.
Pack light.
Ooh, ooh. But
and therapy can probably help with that, right?
Unpack your baggage. When you keep the baggage, it begins to rot and fester and stink. Unpack where you've been so you can go somewhere greater.
We could probably spend an hour talking with you, Michael. I appreciate you giving us a couple minutes, but remind viewers at home where they can go for more.
McGillSpeaks.com on my website, and of course at Michael McGill Jr. on social media. I just got a TikTok, so let me
there we go.
Let me start ticking and talking and packing
Thanks for being with us, Michael. We appreciate it.
We're back after this.
Stay with us.